Ever feel like your own brain is holding you hostage? Like you're chained down by thoughts that no one else can see, but you feel them every second of the day, pulling you back, stopping you from making decisions, keeping you from saying yes to opportunities, or even something as simple as texting first or speaking up in a meeting. Like your mind is this overactive lawyer arguing every possible case against you, and you're just sitting there on the jury, exhausted and stuck? The craziest part is that overthinking doesn't show up wearing a villain's mask. It shows up disguised as caution, as preparation, as intelligence, and you buy into it because it feels like you're being responsible, like you're planning for every outcome, when in reality, you're digging yourself into mental quicksand. Because the more you analyze, the deeper you sink, and the harder it gets to pull yourself back to the surface. Imagine this: you have an amazing idea for a passion project, something that excites you, something that could actually change your life. And for a moment, you feel that fire. You even sketch it out, write a plan, maybe tell a friend about it. But then the overthinking kicks in. What if it fails? What if nobody cares? What if people laugh? What if I waste money? What if I embarrass myself? And suddenly, instead of acting, you're buried in research, watching videos, scrolling endlessly, comparing yourself to people who are already doing it better. And you convince yourself you're not ready yet, but deep down you know the truth. You were ready. You just let your brain trap you in a loop of imaginary disasters. And the loop doesn't stop there, because once overthinking gets comfortable in one area of your life, it spreads into others. You overthink relationships, replaying texts, dissecting tone, analyzing if someone took too long to reply. You overthink work, rewriting emails 20 times before sending them. You overthink yourself, lying in bed at night, replaying things you said years ago that nobody else remembers. But to you, it's like a movie you can't turn off. Here's where it gets interesting. Your brain is literally designed to do this. It's not you being broken. It's your brain doing its job a little too well. See, your mind's number one job is survival, not happiness. And that means scanning constantly for danger, for rejection, for failure, for humiliation, because to your brain, rejection feels like death. In ancient times, being cast out of the tribe meant actual danger, so your brain evolved to overanalyze every risk. But in the modern world, where you won't literally die if someone leaves you on read, your brain hasn't updated the software. It's like running a survival program on social media problems. It's outdated, but still running full speed. And here's the twist: psychologists have found that when you overthink, your brain treats those imagined threats like real ones. A Harvard study on rumination showed that people who constantly replay negative scenarios experience the same stress responses as if those things were actually happening. Cortisol spikes, heart rate jumps, muscles tense. That's why you can think about an awkward moment from high school and still physically cringe. Your brain doesn't know. It's just a memory. Now, add this. Neuroscientists say that every time you repeat a thought, you're strengthening that neural pathway, like walking the same trail in a forest until it becomes a road. And that's why overthinking becomes a habit. It's not just in your head. It's literally carved into your brain's wiring. And here's the kicker: overthinking gives you the illusion of control. Like if you just think hard enough, you'll find the perfect move, the perfect script, the perfect timing. But perfection is a mirage. There's this experiment at Columbia University with jam tasting. When shoppers were given 6 flavors, they easily picked and bought. But when offered 24 flavors, almost no one chose anything. Too many options paralyzed them, and that's exactly what overthinking does. It floods you with choices until you can't move at all. Another study at Stanford found that people who tried to analyze every possible outcome before making a choice were more likely to regret their decision later, because their brain kept wondering about the paths they didn't take. Overthinking not only slows you down, it makes you unhappier with whatever you finally choose. And here's something wild: overthinking isn't always about the situation itself. Sometimes it's about self-worth. You don't trust yourself to handle the outcome, so you get trapped in loops as a way to avoid responsibility. It's like your brain saying, if I just keep analyzing, I won't have to risk being wrong. But the price is brutal, because while you're sitting in analysis paralysis, life is moving on without you. Think about this. How many friendships never started because someone thought they probably don't like me? How many jobs were missed because someone thought I'm not qualified enough? How many relationships ended not because of what was said, but because of everything that was never said? Out of fear? Out of overthinking? Psychologists call this inaction regret, and it's far more painful than failing. Because when you fail, you at least know, but when you never try, your brain torments you with endless what-ifs, keeping you stuck in a prison of regret that lasts for years. There's this viral Reddit thread where people in their 70s and 80s shared their biggest regrets, and almost none of them said, I regret failing at something. Most of them said, I regret not trying. That's the cost of overthinking. It doesn't just waste your time, it steals your future. So how do you break out of these invisible chains? Step 1. Catch the loop. Awareness is everything. The moment you notice yourself spiraling, literally say out loud, I'm overthinking. Naming it shifts your brain from autopilot to conscious control. Step 2. Time box your decisions. Give yourself strict limits: 10 minutes to decide. On dinner, 1 day to say yes or no to an invite, 1 week max for big life choices. When the time is up, you decide, no extensions. This trains your brain to prioritize action over endless loops. Step 3. Flip the script. Instead of, what if it goes wrong? Ask, what if it goes right? Psychologists call this cognitive reframing, and it literally retrains your brain to scan for positive possibilities instead of only negative ones. Step 4. Action beats analysis. Always. Overthinking lives in imagination, but action kills it instantly. Send the message, post the idea, try the thing, because once reality gives you feedback, your brain has to adjust. And most of the time, reality is way kinder than your imagination. And step 5, embrace uncertainty. The truth is, you'll never have all the answers, and waiting until you do is just disguised procrastination. Growth is messy, love is messy, success is messy. Stop waiting for perfect clarity. It doesn't exist. Start messy, learn messy, succeed messy. And here's the final truth: overthinking feels like protection, but really, it's a prison. The bars aren't real, the door is unlocked, and the only thing stopping you is the belief that thinking more will save you. It won't. Acting will. So the next time your brain starts chaining you with what ifs, remember, the key is already in your hand. Use it. Walk out. Live. And right now, while you're here, drop in the comments the last thing you caught yourself overthinking. We'll laugh at our brains together, because trust me, you're not alone in this. And if you want more of these mind hacks to stop being your own worst enemy, hit subscribe, because the truth is, freedom doesn't start with thinking. It starts with daring to move, even if it's messy, even if it's scary. Because the real tragedy isn't failure, it's never trying at all.